So how difficult was this particular set of books to bring to the screen? What did you have to leave behind that you might not want to?
Well, I mean, it wasn't difficult. I think everything is difficult to adapt for television, to be honest with you. So, like, I won't say it wasn't difficult, but there was something when I read the books. I love this world. And for me, what was important is that can this world go on for a while? Do I love these characters? Does it have a theme that I could sort of anchor story around? And it did. So for me, it was very much an opportunity. And I think the challenging part of it is the books move at a lovely small town pace. They're like the perfect book to sit outside and read in the sun. But, television needs incident. And so it became about adding plot more than subtracting. And so for us, it was about how do we structure stories that are true to the heart of Midnight, to the characters of Midnight, but still have the sort of beginning, middle, and end of an arc.
I think we looked at the books as a treasure trove of information for us to use, and you'll see in the first 10 episodes, Monica pulled things from all 3 books in the pilot throughout the first 10 episodes, and there's still a lot left on the table to go down the road on as a season 2, season 3, season 4. It's a wonderful world that Charlie Harris created in this trilogy, and we came at it from a place of fondness and admiration, and let's use everything we possibly can and create what needs to be created.
And it being a trilogy, does it handicap you in any way, or do you have to set an end date in mind when you start out, knowing that there is kind of a finite story in the 3 books?
I mean, I feel like for television, you can't ever have a finite end. Like, I mean, it's not how we write things. So we'd be novelists if that's how we thought. So what you create is a world which, in my ideal, I like to end the story at the end of the season and start something new, so a fan doesn't feel like, like at the end of the season, when it ends. But I also feel like, look, the world of Midnight, and I think Charlene, I talked about her writing, and she said, I see this world as potential, of having so much potential. It doesn't end at the 3rd book, because these characters continue to go. And so for us, it was like, I don't feel like it needs an end point, because I would watch these characters throughout time, and we sort of built in a mythology that will allow to take it to season after season if we're lucky enough to get past.
And the novel is connected with all of Charlene's other series.
Yes.
So you have inroads to all these other worlds, right? Are you going to bring some of those other characters in? I mean, I know there's some rights issues.
That's the part that I'm going to not answer this, because I feel like it's above my pay grade, and legal needs to come in and let us know what we can do.
A lot of the characters do travel in and out of the series.
You have the whole Shakespeare series, right? The Lily Bards, none of those have been on screen.
Oh,
or Harper, none of the Harper characters.
But then it's interesting, because there were a couple of books that we were told, a couple of characters that we were told from the book series, you can't use them because they're assigned to another.
Right.
So, I mean, we just have to be very careful for legal reasons, not to tread on someone else's property. But, I'm open if allowed. I love these characters. I love the way she writes these characters, because they feel like, it feels really familiar, and then there's this really unfamiliar part of them.
Right.
So I feel like they're endlessly surprising, which for me as a TV writer, like, that's just this like amazing sort of like just sandbox to play in.
You're just giddy. You're just giddy over there.
I love this show. No, I do. I mean, it's very rare to like find a property which has all these characters that you can spin story out indefinitely, but also that has a theme that I find so meaningful and beautiful, which is that like when Fiji stands at the end of Witchlight Road and says, wow, we have one of everyone here, and we're all so friggin' different, and we all get along, and we all have each other's back, and why can't the world be like that? And frankly, I find it aspirational and beautiful, and it was lovely to be in Midnight for this year. Like, it was a good place to be.
Yeah.
So would you say it's kind of indirectly maybe a little bit of a political statement, also all the...
I know, it wasn't intended to be. I mean, we had this we had an episode where there's a lot of white supremacists, and when it was written, it was like, oh, isn't this sort of a pulpy villain? And then we're like, oh, it's a timely pulpy villain, and that's not intentional. But our message is really strong and powerful and unfortunately timely, but it's a message that I'm really proud to be a part of and really amazingly psyched that NBC was so behind.
We all feel like a little bit like we're midnighters ourselves.
Exactly, it's true. No, there was a moment last year where we were like, let's just stay in midnight. We'll just stay here. We'll just stay here.
Over the last couple of days, I've had a couple showrunners both independently tell me that they're feeling pressure from Game of Thrones to kill off main characters. I just wanted to get your take on that. If you feel any...
Not Bobo.
I gotta be honest, like, killing characters for me, and I write from a place of character. Death is permanent, and I hate that in real life too. And so for me, it's it can't be gimmicky. It has to serve a story, frankly. Like, there's a lot of death in our show, but it has to serve a story, and I have no pressure. I mean, honestly, NBC has let the show be the weird, fun, oddball little mix of weird awesomeness that I think it is, but they really sort of not pushed us on that.
And however, all that said, we do have some surprising turns that you won't see coming.
Death is a part of the show. But yes, no, there are losses, and there is an episode where we're all sitting in Video Village, like sobbing and holding each other, which is a testament to our actors that we're in Video Village, and it's like,
and we're crying.
I won't say whom, and but yeah, I mean, but for me, look, this town was home when I was writing it. It was home for us writers. I do feel like in this political environment, we all felt like midnighters and we liked it. And so killing characters just for like ratings doesn't feel like organic to how we tell stories.
No, they at times overlap. When I first heard of it, my first question was, how do you do? HBO had pretty much free reign, anything goes.
Yep.
How do you take it to network television that is becoming more and more permissible, but not compromise it beyond, water it down so much that it's not essentially the source material?
Well, what was great about the source material is there's nothing in the source material that makes it need to be on HBO.
Yeah.
I mean, it is not True Blood. It is more love than sex. It is more relationship than desire, and it's more community than bodily fluids. So I feel like the themes that like True Blood was working on that were very political, timely, and wonderful are not the themes of Midnight. And honestly, when I read the books, I had the exact same response. I was like, how are they going to do this? Like, is this going to be a network show? And when I read it, I'm like, there's absolutely no reason it couldn't be. I mean, there's nothing in the books that said it couldn't be other than the wildness of the imagination. And NBC's been really supportive of that.
And I do think Midnight Texas is a sexy place, is a sexy show, but it's not about sex.
Right.
So much the kind of theme of True Blood on so many levels. It's kind of got a hopeful romanticism to it. The underlying trilogy is very hopeful and whimsical and kind of a fun place you want to be, even though you get scared at every turn.
Yeah.